Master Windu, so glad you could join us.
This party's over.
Ah, that's why they sent you and not Yoda. He'd never utter such words. Why, back in the day, Master Yoda's parties were legendary. One time he blew 1/10 of the Jedi Order's entire annual budget on drugs, alcohol, sex workers from no less than 32 different species, and, oddly, gold-plated bidets he insisted were crucial for the party, but no one ever really understood why.
Wait, that's where those bidets came from?
He kept saying, "Gold-plated for your pleasure they are." Then he'd try to wink, but he couldn't do it, so he just kind of blinked aggressively at us. I still wonder to this day what that meant, but maybe it's best I never find out.
Yoda will be joining us later.
Passed out from drugs again, no doubt. What's the mix this month?
I think it's oxycodone, morphine, and diazepam.
Is that it? Must be on one of his health kicks.
I know we can change him, but it's a up-fucking-hill battle. The Younglings are always... you're damn good at distracting me. But you're under arrest.
You don't have to mindlessly suppress your emotions and throw yourself into the mission at the exclusion of all else, you know. After all, Master Yoda only added the rule about no emotions because he thought only gay people had feelings. Of course, this was back in... must have been at least 130 BBY.
The fuck does BBY stand for?
Back then, Yoda became friends with someone who was gay. You have to understand. This was back before Supreme Chancellor Space Obama passed gay marriage.
I've never even fucking heard of Space Obama.
So at the time, there was still quite a lot of homophobia thrown around. Anyway, they did everything together, became besties, and were basically inseparable. But somehow Yoda got it into his head that the guy, who was called Score, incidentally,
Are you fucking with me, or did this actually happen?
was attracted to him, so he confronted him about it. Score swore up and down that not only did he not find Yoda attractive, but made the mistake of muttering under his breath something to the effect that only those with tastes so horrific they thought the sequel trilogy was a cohesive and perfectly executed piece of cinema could possibly find Yoda attractive. This naturally upset Yoda somewhat.
I can fucking imagine.
They got into a huge fight. Many hurtful things were said. Yoda said Score would be a terrible Supreme Chancellor. Score threatened to reveal Yoda was committing disability fraud for government checks and pain medications.
Wait, do you mean Score fucking Kalpana, the former Supreme Chancellor?
The upshot of all this is Yoda ended up not only never speaking with Score again, but internalizing a number of the homophobic attitudes prevalent at the time.
Hold up. Doesn't your story hinge on the idea that homophobia only existed because gay marriage wasn't legal? That doesn't make sense.
I think he did it as a defense mechanism, to ensure no gay person would ever befriend him the same way Score did, and thus hurt him so deeply.
I have no fucking clue if you're bullshitting me or not. But can we get a move on, please?
The faster we go, the quicker we get to the sequel trilogy.
I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I've been developing a new lightsaber form.
Ah, yes, a variant of Form 7, I believe.
Exactly. It allows me to channel my inner darkness, my hate, rage, and anger, and use it in a fight without succumbing to the dark side.
Sounds intense. What's the source of all this anger?
It's...
Wish you lived a shorter life, a natural, 5 fingers formed years. You all had. I do.
nowhere.
If you say so. Anyway, for your lightsaber form, I recommend incorporating more precision into your strikes. An overwhelming offense is one thing.
I don't mean to interrupt, but there's a real chance we could die imminently down here.
Ah, well, nose meet grindstone, as they say. Best get back to it. I'm glad he has that purple lightsaber. It'd be really hard to track where he was otherwise. Huh. I wonder if that was intentional. Makes you wonder what that BMF on his lightsaber means.